what we can expect, the superstars that are eligible as well. I've got those graphics, so you have to give me a moment. I want to try and get a bit closer, because I feel like I'm really far away. So there we go, that's better. Right, so I do have a graphic. Let's see if we can ping it up on screen. So these are the people that are going to be eligible tonight. These are the people that can move. So here you can see the graphics. So some big names in there. Obviously, Roman Reigns jumps out. Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Paul Heyman. I don't know if Paul Heyman will be drafted with Roman. I don't know that that's actually been specified, but yeah, he's on there. Of course, we've got Sheamus, we've got Seth, Bron Breakker is on there as well. Looks like, is that Jimmy Uso? It could be Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso, it makes sense, wouldn't it? And we've got the Good Brothers, we've got Me Jim, we've got Zoe Stark, we've got Randy Orton, we've got Liv Morgan, LA Knight, Alpha Academy, AJ Styles, Isla and Alba, Maxine at the back, Andrade, and Bianca Belair. I can see Ricochet, Nia Jax on there as well. So we've got quite a few people obviously eligible. Mondays is much bigger. So Mondays is going to be much, much bigger. I've got to think that first picks are going to be Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Bianca Belair. Those are the names that kind of jump out. If we have a look at the rules, here's the rules. You can see on SmackDown, there's going to be 4 rounds. So that's 16 total picks. On Raw, there's going to be 6 rounds. That's 24 total picks. Champions on each brand are protected. And I've had a few people saying, what does this mean for Cody? And the honest answer is, I don't know. I don't know what it means for Cody, because my belief was that he was heading to SmackDown, because of course we've got Damian Priest and we've got Cody over on Mondays. So I think that he must be making his way to SmackDown. Hopefully we get some clarity on that tonight. Women's Tag Team Champs are eligible to be drafted. SmackDown will get the first pick tonight. Raw will get the first pick on Monday. The rosters are locked Monday, May 6th. So pretty straightforward stuff. Obviously, a lot of you have seen drafts before. We've been through this before. It's pretty standard, pretty straightforward stuff. But yeah, I'm quite excited for it. It should be a big show. Obviously, NXT talent is eligible. And that's really what's got people excited. The NXT talent is able to be called up, so that means that we could be seeing the likes of Elia, we could be seeing the likes of Lyra, we could be seeing just countless numbers of people, so that's going to be very exciting. Don't know if we're going to get a QR code tonight. We may do. If we don't know, I wouldn't be too surprised. This is a pretty big show with lots of talking points. Maybe they'll just give us something a bit scaled down. Maybe it won't be like as in-depth as to what we've been seeing. But I would imagine we'll still get something. And as well as that, I've seen that Cody and AJ Styles, they're both going to be on the show tonight. I don't know if it's a contract signing, but we do have both of those on the show as we head towards that championship match that's going to be taking place at Backlash. So lots of good stuff coming up, lots of interesting stuff coming up, lots of stuff that's happened over the past few days since we last spoke as well. So I want to jump into the chat and just kind of get stuck in with what people are talking about and what people are thinking about. Like Tommy Toy Travels, shout out to you, said, I hate the QR codes. Just post a message. Yeah, boy, that's a good point. Why doesn't Uncle Howdy just put a message on screen saying, I'll see you at King and Queen of the Ring. By the way, there's 6 of us if you include Bray. Do you know what I mean? That would save a lot of trouble, wouldn't it? That'd be a lot more simple. So it's a good point. It's a good point. Supportington, shout out to you, my friends. Said, Days, I'm happy to announce that I'm finally out of remission after a very long time and process. Supportington has won the fight. Supportington, many congratulations to you, my friends. That is fantastic news. So, well done. I should imagine you're absolutely bubbling. When did you find out, buds? Give us more detail. Don't super chat it, but just give us more details in the chat. I know the community are going to want more deets, but many congratulations to you, my friend. That's brilliant news. Edward said, Days, no Clash, unfortunately. I did see that. That's one of the big controversies. Massive controversy is the price of the Clash at the Castle tickets. I know that if you go and just look for just normal seats, really, not ringside, not even on the floor, just kind of that first tier around the edge, they're like £500. £500. And then when you start getting down to the floor, it's anywhere between like £500 to £1,000. Like, I don't know where the £30 tickets are. I don't know where the £50 tickets are. I don't even know if they exist. But lots of controversy around the fact that those ticket prices were so high. But you know what? We've been saying this. We've been saying it, like, you know, all this celebrating that WWE do about this is our highest grossing show ever. Like, you know, how do you think they're making that money? It's the ticket prices that are going up and up and up and up and up, you know? So, for example, if you've got the highest grossing Raw ever, right, which I think they did this year, and you're in a 20,000 arena, that means you're charging more for those tickets than you ever have before. So, you know, this is just a harsh, stark reminder as to what some of those boasts actually mean by WWE. It means that they are rinsing people for as much money as possible. And it breaks my heart, to be honest. It's broken my heart for a long time because this wrestling was always a form of entertainment for the people. You know, it's something that you can take your kids to and enjoy and be entertained by. And it was cheap and cheerful. You know, it was a great night out. And that's what wrestling was. And that's not what WWE represents so much anymore. I will say that NXT house shows are fantastic value. So if you get a chance to go to an NXT house show, I would really recommend it. And I honestly don't know what the main roster house show prices are like, but seemingly more and more the premium live events, Raw, Smackdown, we're seeing those prices going up and up and up and up. And now good, hardworking people are being priced out of going. So, but this has been a concern for a long time. It's been a concern for a long time. And sadly, it doesn't show any sign of slowing down. Gringo said ticket prices going up tick me off because of the lack of pyro at Mania. Yes, I am still salty, even though no one cares, said Gringo. Shout out to you. Not JPEG said, would like to see a brother and sister reunion with LA Knight and Maxine Dupree. Okay. Yeah, where was the Supportington? I wanted to find Supportington's. There we go. He says, thank you, everybody. Was there any more deets, Supportington? I found out earlier today and it was a bit of a shock. Well, many congratulations, buds. It's brilliant news. Right. Here we go. I wonder what Hall of Fame people are going to go to do the death like last year, or is it Triple H? I wonder what Hall of Fame people is going to do the death like last year. I don't know what that means, Kyle. Dave's thoughts on Nick Khan selling all of his shares of TKO. I haven't seen the news, to be honest. If he's sold all of his shares, then I've got to think that he thinks now is the right time to do it. I mean, things are up. Everything's in a good place. WrestleMania was a massive success. They've secured TV deals. I mean, what I would say is for him to do that, probably means not that he doesn't have confidence in the future, but he's just very confident as to where they are now. So, you know, if someone that is in that kind of a position is selling all of his shares, then that's an indicator that this is a good time and that things are good. It could be an indicator that the future is not going to be as rosy, right? It could be an indicator of that. It could also just be an indicator that, you know, he doesn't want to take the chance. He doesn't need to take the chance. So just sell the shares, get the price. That's a great price at the moment. And lovely. So I don't know. I think you could overthink something like that. And for me, I think it's just a good indicator as to where we are right now. And it could also, though, be an indicator that there's bumpy road ahead. You know, if great things were coming that were going to positively influence that share price, I've got to think he probably wouldn't sell. So that does sort of indicate that we're going to go into a bit of a period now where maybe there's not going to be anything that's going to really move that share price. But then saying that, we've just come past WrestleMania. We know that that's the big time of the year. We know there's not really any other time. SummerSlam's good, but it ain't WrestleMania. So we know that really you've got to get around to next year again to kind of get back to where we were with how good that period is. So we'll see with these things. If there is any kind of news, we kind of get it not too long after. So if there is anything that we need to know about, then hopefully we'll get some more information over the coming weeks. Kian said, Days, I hope you're having a good stream. How is it going so far? I'm glad you are live tonight. Why can't I keep scroll up? I have broken down in tears because feel like a fool. The streams kept me going. Can't wait for tonight. Well, Kian, I hope everything's well, my friends. Everything's good. I'm getting towards the end of my time in America, which is good and bad. Because, to be honest, I've just been out all day, every day. I mean, I've been to a couple of amazing shops. I've been to a couple of places where there'll be a video in their own right. Like, there's 2 shops that I've been to that I can't wait for you to see the footage of. It was mind-blowing, right? Mind-blowing. So, I've got that. Been to Hogan's Beat shops. That'll probably be a video in its own right. The Walmarts and everything as well. I mean, I reckon we're at about 5 videos, 5 toy hunts worth of footage, good as well. Not just trying to cobble anything together, like they should be good. 3 of them amazing. And then the other 2, I think will be strong. I think they'll be in line with what you would expect. But I think there's a couple there that could easily be the best toy hunts that have ever been on the channel. That's a pretty big statement if you consider how many toy hunts we've had. So I know there's been a massive disruption to the channel. Just know that I get back to England on Wednesday. And once I'm back in England, I would imagine there's going to need to be a little bit of, I don't know exactly what time I land and what time I get home. But, you know, I'm really looking for Thursday to be like the first Unseen. I mean, I've so missed doing Unseen. I really want to get back doing Unseens. I want to get back doing opinions. I want to get back doing reviews. Obviously, no more disruption with the streams. The proper background, the proper microphone, the proper cameras. Like, it's all coming next week. And, you know, those toy hunts, I'll get them up as and when I can. So, yeah, I mean, it's just been amazing. I know it's been a lot of disruption, but next week we go back to normal. And, you know, all that content that you know and love from before will be back. So, Kian, chin up, my friend. I hope tonight treats you better than today has. Brody said, apparently next week's Smackdown will be at 6 p.m. UK time. Does that mean it'll air at 1 p.m. Eastern? Hang on. So if there's five hours difference. So if it's on at 6 p.m., that would mean that it's on at 11. But I don't know. That seems a bit strange. Let's see what they advertise tonight. I've not heard of anything, but if it's on at 6 p.m. UK time, then there's 5 hours difference. Unless they're coming from like the West Coast, And then I don't know what the time difference would be there. But hang on, 6. If it's what? If it would, so 6 p.m. 6 p.m. wouldn't be UK time. That would be the American time. Is that right? That would be 6 p.m. would be the American time. So that would be the UK time would be 5 hours after. So depending on where it is in America. So what I would say is let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. I haven't heard of any change. Right, let's go down. I want to make sure that we're up to everything. Mitchell, shout out to you. Says, can we get a sneak peek of something that you've bought? Yeah. You can. If I don't have them in this room. That's the only problem. I do have some over here, though. Hang on. See what I can. These are pretty cool. I've not seen these before. I'm sure that you lot will have seen them. I've not seen them, but they make 4 of them. And I think these are really, really... I hope they make more, right? Look at these little tiny... They're called Bitty Pops, right? I've not seen them before. I'm sure some of you have. But look at how small and tiny and awesome they are. So we've got like a Bret the Hitman Hart. I mean, look, in comparison to my hand... you can see how big they are. Tiny, tiny, tiny. But I love them because you get like the proper packaging. You actually get 4. There's a mystery one there, and I don't know what it is unless I open the box. But I don't really want to open the box. So I don't know. I don't know what to do for the best, to be honest. But I do love these. They were in Walmart and Target. I think they're still available. It's one of those things, though, that you know that once they're sold, like, you know, there's so many different pop vinyls that once these have sold, you probably, you know, it's going to be an eBay job. So as soon as I saw them, I'm like, nah, I'm not going to let them pass me by because they're just really cool. Like this pack has got Bret Hart, it's got Shawn Michaels, and it's got Mean Gene Okerlund, and then there's a mystery one. There are some other packs that you can get, look, and they've got people like Dusty Rhodes, Jerry the King Lawler, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. There's another pack that's got Razor, Diesel, Rey Mysterio, and then there's another pack there that's got Batista, British Bulldog, and The Undertaker. And these are really interesting because like they I believe are like scaled down versions of actual pop vinyls that you can get. So these pop vinyls have been available in their proper size, and now these are like the little tiny replica versions of them. I just thought they were so quirky. I've not seen them before. I don't know if they're going to make more, but I just think like that's pretty fun. And actually, if you open it up, apparently inside, so you get a mystery one as well, but inside there's like a little shelf that you can put these in and have them on display, and then you can get the other sets and kind of make a tiny little display stand and just keep adding them. So if they make more, this would be a great way of collecting pop vinyls, because I would say one of the biggest problems with pop vinyls is they're too big. They're way too big. Like, if you, like, if you're just getting 1 or 2, it's fine. But if you want, like, a big collection, that's eating up a lot of room. That is eating up a lot of space. This is so clever. This is so clever because you could get so many of these and, like, all, like, within, like, a much, much smaller space in your house. So I love that. I saw it. I was like, nah, there's no way I can leave that. So I picked that up. It's one of those, though, where I'm sure like people will be like, oh, yeah, I've seen them everywhere. But I've never seen them in the UK. So, yeah, I like those. But there's a few bits and bobs that I've picked up, but I've not gone too crazy, to be honest. I've not gone crazy. I've just kind of had a little look, seen what's out there, got some great footage, and just picked up, like, I've been quite selective with what I've picked up, because to be honest, this is more about the thrill of seeing what's out there, getting out there, just, you know, non-stop all day, every day. And it has been a lot of fun. I've really, really enjoyed it. I've seen some amazing stuff. So yeah, it wasn't really so much about buying. It was more about seeing, and definitely seeing a lot of stuff. Wayne Garland, shout out to you, said, Days, could Drew fight for the title at Clash at the Castle? Definitely. I mean, I would imagine that he will have a very high-profile match at Clash at the Castle. He'll definitely be a babyface there. Just like Rhea was in Australia. So even though she was sort of a heel in Australia, she was a monster babyface. And of course, you know, Drew in Scotland, he's going to be a monster babyface. It does make you wonder, though, what do you do with him, you know? Because if I don't think CM Punk can really cheat him or anything, because then CM Punk's going to come across as a heel, because he'll get booed out the building, CM Punk. It's you've got to go into it with the mindset that Drew is a babyface and then book it from there. So I think there's a good chance that you do maybe Damian versus Drew for the World Championship. But to be honest, let's get the draft done first, because then we'll have a much better idea as to where everyone sits. So that's why what we're doing tonight and what we're doing on Monday is very, very important, because a lot of that fantasy booking, a lot of that, could this go here, could that go there, we'll have a much better idea by Tuesday as to where everything stands. So, Wayne, shout out to you. James, hello. Days, two things. F Tony Khan. After his comments earlier. And SmackDown is on at 6 p.m. UK time next week because it's in France. Oh, okay. So it's on at 6 p.m. UK time. Right. Well, if it's on at 6 p.m. UK time, the UK is 5 hours ahead. So that means that it's going to be 1 p.m. Eastern time. So the UK is 5 hours ahead of America. So that means that 1 p.m. Eastern for our American friends, our East Coast friends, next Friday then. So yeah, that's true. Actually, I forgot about that. As soon as I get back, I'm pretty much bang straight into Backlash week. So, oh man, that means that I need to try and do predictions. How am I going to do that? Well, that's an interesting problem that I've not considered. I might have. Okay, leave it with me. But yeah, I mean, look, as we said, I'm back on Wednesday, so you know, Backlash will be on the Saturday. So we're doing that. Obviously, we're doing SmackDown. So yeah, we'll be all over it. It'll be fine. So James, thank you. And yeah, Tony Khan. I mean, where do you start with that? I don't even know if I want to have the conversation, to be honest, because there's not really anything positive I can say. I mean, the only thing I'll say is that I forget about Dynamite whilst I'm over here. I mean, normally if I'm at home and it's a Wednesday night, at some point someone will say, oh, it's Wednesday, it's Dynamite, right? I don't watch it anymore, but, you know, I might jump onto Tommy's stream, just have that on in the background. But this week, obviously, I was out. So I wasn't even around really, and I certainly wasn't thinking about it. So by the time I got back to my room and I kind of tried to catch up a bit with Twitter and what people were saying, I just saw the clips and I honestly could not believe what I was seeing. I would be quite happy to say that I think what I saw was more embarrassing than the footage being shown from Wembley, right? And the reason why I say that is because I didn't mind the footage too much, right, being shown, because it was footage I wanted to see. I wanted to see that. And I didn't know if they were going to actually show it or if they were going to do a little, you know, pull of the rug. Yeah, here's the backstage footage, but it's, you know, an hour after the Punk incident, or they goof around and they reenact it. I didn't know what I was going to get, but what I got was the actual footage. Like, they said they were going to show the footage, and they showed the footage. Now, you can make an argument as to whether it helped them or hindered them. Obviously, the backlash was overwhelming. I'm not interested in the noise. I'm just more interested in my reaction to it. And my reaction was, okay, thanks. I appreciate it. I wanted to see that footage and you showed it me. So, respect, you know, thanks. I wanted to see it for myself. And now I've seen it and it's out there, so I can see it whenever I want. If I want to go back and have a look at a little something, I can find it, you know. So I feel like, okay, cool. I understand it didn't fit in with their storyline very well. I also don't know if it was meant to be a knock of CM Punk. That's, I think, a big talking point with the footage. I think a lot of people saw it as a reaction to CM Punk's interview, and it could have been, right? But I don't know if it was meant to show Punk in a bad light. Oh, people are going to hate him when they see what actually happens. I don't know if that was the intention, right? I don't know. Or if the intention was, we've got footage people want to see, and we just need viewers. So let's just show the footage, because people are going to tune in and watch the footage, right? It might not be, let's have a knock of CM Punk. It might be, we've got some footage, let's play it. People want to see it, right? So there was a lot of people, a lot of anti-AEW fans that were kind of going in on AEW and going in on Tony, saying, well, if you think that was going to show Punk in a bad light, well, then, you know, it's backfired and all this. And that's true. I think it did backfire if that's what they were trying to do. And I don't know if that's what they were trying to do, right? So I kind of looked at it. There was a lot of noise around it. I appreciated them showing it. I don't think it fitted in with the storyline very good. I think if I was an AEW fan, I'd probably be frustrated at the fact that we were looking at something connected with Punk rather than looking at, you know, the roster we have. But I'm not an AEW fan. I don't watch the product anymore. So that doesn't bother me. I'm not bothered, right? So for me personally, a lot of hate for the footage being shown, which I didn't care about. It didn't affect me that way, right? I was quite happy to see the footage. But when I saw like this cringe moment where it was so obvious that he was going to turn on him as well. I mean, Tony just looks very fake in that moment. Everything about that moment, they're just taking so long about it. You know, I just thought it came across really bad. I have not seen the reaction to it, so there could be people saying it's the best thing they've ever seen, right? I could be really out of sync here. I thought it looked awful. I thought the pile driver, the Meltzer driver, or whatever it's called these days, I thought that was unnecessary. I kind of feel like if you're going to turn on the billionaire owner, you know, it just needs to be a punch, a good-looking punch. Down he goes, and you just stand over him and just, like, you know, take a moment and then get out of there, because where was the rest of the locker room? Where was everyone coming to Tony Khan's? He's the guy that pays the wages. Where were the people to help him? Where was the people to save him? Why did they? How were they able to do all that stuff and no one come to Tony's aid? Why did they do such an elaborate move? Why did it have to be the Tony Khan driver? Was it literally because it's fun to do a Tony Khan driver to Tony Khan? Why could it have not just been a punch and down he goes, and then they just sort of like stand over him or even spit on him and then get out of the ring quick because here comes security? Everything about it felt fake. Everything about it felt cringe. Everything about it, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. I think a lot of us thought that at some point Tony would get in the ring. At some point Tony's going to get involved because, you know, he loves this so much. He's not been able to hand it over. You know, he's got to be part of the press conferences. He's got to be front and center for a lot of these things. He hasn't been able to find a president or something. Do you remember Vince, right? He was the owner of WWE, but back in the 80s and the 90s, we had Jack Tunney, right? Vince was on commentary. I couldn't believe it when I found out Vince was the owner. I didn't know he was the owner. Like, I remember Jack Tunney being the president of WWF. He was an old promoter from Toronto who Vince just used as a fake fake person, fake front face, basically, that a load of people thought that was the guy. Obviously, if you read The Observer, like in the 90s, but back then there was no internet, so you had to be subscribed to it. I don't think it made it to the UK. Then you would know, because, you know, they'd tell you what was really going on. But for young me sat at home, I had no idea that Vince McMahon was the guy that owned it all. I just thought he was a commentator. Be like finding out that Michael Cole is the actual person that owns WWE, right? It was just, what? Him. Couldn't believe it. So, but that's never been Tony Khan. Tony Khan has made it very clear he's the owner from the very beginning. He's always there for the press conferences. He's always going on to interviews. He could have put someone front and center, but he loves it, doesn't he? He loves that spotlight. I mean, he comes out in front of the live crowd. Please stay for Ring of Honor and whatever, you know. We've got some more great wrestling coming up as people are like walking to the exits. So I'm normally someone that stays impartial, or at least tries to, because I'm not into this tribal stuff. And to be honest, this isn't tribal stuff, because I'm not saying AEW are rubbish, WWE are better. I'm literally critiquing that segment of its own accord by its own standard, right? I'm not saying anything about WWE, right? I'm just critiquing what I saw on Wednesday night, just the final closing moment, right? Just that in isolation, I thought was worse than them showing the Wembley footage, because it looked fake. It looked awful. It just looked awful. And I don't know where the security were. I don't know where the people were to help Tony. It just didn't feel real. I didn't feel like I was watching someone attack their boss. I felt like I was watching someone pretending to attack their boss, you know. So again, I don't know. It could be that everyone out there is like, it's the best moment I've ever seen. Wrestling has changed and all this kind of. That's not how I felt when I saw it. I thought it was really poor, but could just be me. So yeah, that was. There's a lot to talk about on that front, but I don't really want to go down those roads, to be honest, any more than we have, because certainly his comments today where he compared WWE to Harvey Weinstein. That to me is just him now, just trying to make noise. That to me is him just, give me attention. I've got to do something. I'm going to throw everything at the wall and I'll see what sticks. If you hate me anyway, you hate me. And if you're on my side, I'm guessing you'll still be on my side after I've made these comments. So I think, I don't want to say what we're seeing is rock bottom, but I think what we are seeing is desperation. I think this is desperation. I think this is them really trying to go big, trying to find some out-of-the-box things, trying to get attention, and that's where we are at the moment. So if I was an AEW fan, I'd be frustrated that we're not focused on Ospreay and Danielson and, really focusing on some of the good stuff that's happening. Instead, it's just always about Tony Khan, isn't it? It just always seems to be about him. I'd be very frustrated if I was an AEW fan. But I'm not, so it doesn't matter. Would you prefer the Bloodline story to switch to Raw? Are you happy for it to be on SmackDown, said Aseeb? Don't mind, buds. We watch them both, don't we? So it doesn't really make a difference to me. If it's on Raw, brilliant. If it's on SmackDown, fine. If I had a preference, I would say Raw, because I feel like Raw is 3 hours long. So I'm really looking for those 3 hours to kind of... I'd like a nice story going like throughout the show. I think there's more room for those segments to breathe. If The Rock comes on and does a 40-minute segment, well, it's not derailed everything, has it? If you've got a 3-hour show compared to a 2-hour show. So in regards to where would I prefer to watch it, it doesn't really make a difference. The only thing I would say is if I could choose, I would choose Raw, because I think the 3-hour format means it's got a bit more leeway. Wes, shout out to you, said, guys, I'm just checking in. Wes 420, I hope you are well, my friends. Welcome. We are 25 minutes away from the draft, and there's been rumors that there's going to be some legends that are going to be around. Don't know any names, but apparently there's some legends which, and we've seen that before. They bring the legends out to help kind of announce the next round. So, it's kind of your Ron Simmons, your X-Pacs, those kinds of names. Maybe we mix it up a little bit this time. I'm not sure. But maybe a Steph. We'll have to wait and see, but I'd expect it to be an action-packed show. Certainly at least one surprise, at least one NXT call-up. Maybe Ilya, that would be pretty cool. Carmelo. I don't think he was technically called up. Brom was. I don't think Carmelo's been called up yet. So, yeah, definitely a lot of potential. Edward said, do you think I could get cheaper tickets 2 or 3 weeks before for $150 or something? I don't think so, but I think that the price is the price. I think it would have to be a case that those tickets just would not sell now. A lot of tickets. If you get down to just a few tickets, then WWE might be all right with just kind of comping those and giving them out to radio stations or something. But if it's lots, then maybe they'll look to reduce the price a little closer to the time. But I would imagine they've kind of looked at... They will have benchmarked it against big concerts and stuff and other big sporting events. I mean, this is a premium live event. I can't remember what the ticket prices were for Money in the Bank last year, but that was an arena 20,000 premium live event. So, they will have the data as to how much they sold those tickets for. And so now they're going to look to obviously do similar here. So I don't know. I would think it unlikely. I think they've probably done their homework. There's probably a lot of people moaning and complaining, but I bet they still sell the tickets. Because, to be honest, I don't think they've gone to Scotland and then just boosted the price up. I think this is the going rate at the moment for what these ticket prices are, because all the time you keep hearing this is our highest grossing SmackDown, this is our highest grossing Backlash, this is our highest grossing Elimination Chamber, blah blah blah. That basically means they've made more money at those events than any previous Raw or any previous SmackDown. They're doing that through tickets. They're doing that through the amount they're charging for those tickets. So WWE have basically been telling you for quite a while now that they've inflated those ticket prices, but people are buying them. They're selling. So they can keep doing it. At some point, it's going to have to level off, At some point, people are going to be I just can't afford to do it. But this is what we said earlier. It's just a bit of a shame, really, that good, honest working people are now being priced out of these types of events. Maverick said, which AEW moment was worse, Tony Khan selling or the exploding barbed wire death match ending? That's an excellent question, actually, because I think it's very hard for me to answer because I genuinely have not seen the reaction to Tony Khan selling. I genuinely can't give you the reaction to that. I think universally everyone could see that the exploding barbed wire didn't go correct, right? I think everybody saw that and knew it had gone wrong. Universally, if you was a fan, if you was a hater, everyone could see that went wrong. I would say with this, you're probably going to have a bit more of a split opinion. I've no doubt the people that hate AEW hated it, right? I've no doubt about that because I don't class myself as someone that hates AEW. I just class myself as someone that doesn't watch it anymore. And even I looked at it and was like, that's bad. That looks bad, right? So for me, I have to think that this probably had a bit more of a split opinion. Probably had a bit more of a split opinion. I think if you're into AEW, you might be willing to go with it and see where it leads. If you are not into AEW, then I think it was an easy thing to look at and go, that's cringe, right? So with that being said, I'm going to say the exploding barbed wire was worse because everyone could see that had gone wrong. Whereas with this, my gut feeling is that there's probably a bit more of a varying opinion. So I'm going to say the exploding barbed wire was worse. But to be honest, even if it's close, right, what AEW need right now is positive and really good things that are grabbing attention that's going to make people want to watch the show. If this moment is being compared to the exploding barbed wire moment, that ain't what they need right now, right? That's not what they're looking for. So for me, it was a misstep. But to be honest, I think we could see that this was coming because they've got to do something. It's funny because as a fan, you look at them and you're just waiting for them to turn this around. But I've got a lot of sympathy because you can say turn it around, but what does that actually look like? You can say, oh, well, good stories. Yeah, but that's easy to say. What does a good story look like? Like, who are you using? How long are you using them for? How's it going to play out on social media? What are going to be the key moments in that story that's going to grab people's attention? Like, what are you doing that's actually going to get people to watch your program? It's not that easy, to be honest, right? It's not that easy. And I think that they've tried a few stories, and I think those stories haven't worked. You know, I think there's a few things that they've tried and it's just fallen flat. So they've tried a few stories because, I mean, we're into nearly May, and I think we can agree that 2024 has been a really bad year for them. So they've been telling stories for the past 4 months, right? And none of them have caught fire. Then on top of that, they tried to bring in Mercedes. They brought in Okada. They brought in Ospreay. That has not turned the ratings around, right? They had a match of the year contender on, was it Saturday, whenever Dynasty was. And then the ratings for Dynamite was like 600 and some thousand. And I know people are going to say, yeah, but they're up against tough competition, blah, blah, blah. Was it not the same competition last year? Was it not the same competition the year before? Was it not the same competition year before that? Like, why was this exceptionally tough compared to, you know, what they face every year? It's a little bit like that old argument of like, yeah, WWE are down, but they were up against NFL. It's like, yeah, they've been up against NFL for, you know, the 60s. Like, you can't really use that as much of an excuse. You can use it as an excuse as to why you're down compared to, say, the month before. But you can't really use it as an excuse as to why you're down compared to last year, because you would have been up against the NFL last year. So, I don't know, that doesn't really make much sense to me. But they had to do something, and they have to do something. And so they've you know, they are pushing the nuclear buttons right now. That's what it seems like to me. Like, we've got this footage people want to see. Shall we show it? What, the footage of Jack Perry getting choked out backstage? Listen, we need views. Shall we show it? Okay, boom. They push the button. Then it's like, man, do you know what people would love to see? Tony getting like hurt in the ring. Someone turning on Tony. We haven't done that yet, so should we push that button? Boom. Push that nuclear option as well. So for me, they are really pushing some big buttons at the moment to try and turn things around. Aaron, shout out to you, my friends. Hope you are well. Aaron said, Days really excited for the draft, especially with GMs making picks. Love the new Bloodline story. Solo is finally cool again. Hope you're enjoying the US. Can't wait for Unseens to return. Let's go. Aaron, shout out to you, buds. I hope you well. Hope life's treating you well. Let's try and pick that apart, shall we? So excited for the draft and GMs making the picks. Love the new Bloodline story. Yeah, to be honest with you, I've still not seen last week's Smackdown. Wasn't able to do last week's Smackdown. Amazingly, it's been a week since I went to the NXT house show. It's flown, absolutely flown. So it's been a week since I went there, so I wasn't able to do last week's SmackDown, which was weird. I mean, very strange. But thankfully we're back. Thankfully we're here now. And I've still not seen it, though. I've still not had a chance to sit down, and actually I will, because obviously I want to make sure I'm keeping up with everything. So I definitely will. But I am aware they attacked Kevin Owens. I'm aware that he referred to Tama Tonga as his MFT, which I believe people are saying is going to stand for My Family Tree. I don't think he's revealed himself to be the tribal chief, but he is dressing very sharp. I am still under the opinion, and I could be wrong, but I'm still under the opinion he's not the tribal chief, and that The Rock is the tribal chief, and that Solo is sort of stepping up, you know? Like The Rock has said, you are my right-hand man, and I want you to take the lead whilst I'm not around, because I've got to promote Moana 2 and Papatui stuff, right? So he said, you take the lead, and that's exactly what Solo's doing at the moment, is he's stepped up, he's taken the leads, he's acting like the tribal chief whilst the tribal chief's not around, and then eventually the surprise, the swerve will be, oh, I'm not the tribal chief. This is the tribal chief. And then out comes the final boss. Out comes The Rock. I could be off on that. Again, you know, I didn't see last week's show, so he might have come out and went, I'm the tribal chief now, which could have which could end my theory. But yeah, I'm very interested in this as well. Very interested to see, like, you know, the dynamics. You know, the Bloodline story was always so good because you was looking at how Sammy interacted with Roman, and how Sammy interacted with Jay, and how Sammy interacted with Jimmy, how Jimmy interacted with Jay, how Jimmy interacted with Roman, how Jimmy interacted with Heyman, how Heyman interacted with Sammy, how he interacted with Solo, like all those different relationships and how they interacted with each other. That was a big thing. That was a massive thing. You know, we really took our time so that, you knew, we got to the point where a little look like this, you know, someone giving someone else a look, we could understand what just that little look meant. We were so invested, and we were so, I think, involved in the Bloodline, because we knew every little nuance. We really had set that table very well. And so, yeah, we could then reap the rewards. It was a very satisfying story, and I think we're sort of seeing something similar here. You know, everyone wants to know, where does Roman stand? Is Jay going to come back in? What's Jay's relationship with Jimmy going to be like? What's Jay's relationship with... Because you know they're going to reunite at some point. It's going to be a big emotional moment. But how does Jay feel about Tama Tonga? Like, you know, how does Jay feel now about Solo and what he's doing, and where does Paul Heyman stand? And we've got all of this to explore, so it's, yeah, brilliant. I agree. Very interesting, and Solo very much stepping up and taking the lead. I hope you're enjoying USA, loving USA. USA is an amazing place, as I've always been aware. Yeah, it's great. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, to be honest, because honestly, I can see the end coming on Wednesday when it's going to be time for me to go back home, and I'm sad about that. But I'm also excited by that, which is good, because I have so missed. I think I've been doing YouTube, and I've been doing this for so long that I'm just in a rhythm. I'm in a groove. I know what I need to do. I know what my day looks like. I know the kind of stuff people are going to enjoy. I know what a good unseen feels like. I know what a good, you know, stream feels like. And like, I kind of, like, when I'm out and I'm not doing it, I miss it. So I'm really looking forward to getting back into that schedule again. I really am. So that's probably going to be starting Thursday. I mean, I really don't know what time I get back on Wednesday. I think it is late, like late. So Thursday will be my first full day back home. I'm looking forward to that. But of course, it's going to be sad as well, because I need to make sure that I've ticked the box, really. I feel like the box is pretty well ticked. It's just a case of, it's one of them when you know that you won't be around to experience stuff, all of a sudden it becomes a lot more desperate that you experience it, you know? So it's like, oh man, I've only got a few more days left to go. What do I need to do before I go? Like, what are there's still a few places I need to go. A couple of places that I'm interested in having a look at for toy hunts and whatever. But really, I think it's been honestly nonstop. So I think we've crammed so much into a week and a half that I can't really, even if I was to go now, I can't really have many complaints. You know, I came here with the goal of getting about 6 toy hunts done. That's like 3 a week. That's 1 every few days. And I think we're going to hit that. I think I've got a Walmart one. I've got 2 great toy shop ones. I've got a Hogan one. I've got another one which I could put together from like Targets and Walmarts and Ollie's and FYEs and all of that kind of stuff. That one feels like that might be a bit cobbled. And then, you know, I've still got data, but I could do it, and I think it would still be good. And so that means I just need one more, really, and I've got, you know, a few days to do it. So I think that shows the kind of work that has been done. So yeah, it's just about making sure that I maximize the rest of my time here. So I appreciate everyone bearing with me whilst I'm still trying to get out there and find stuff. But I promise you, as soon as the stuff hits, I think you'll see that it was worth waiting for. Oh man, a couple of the toy hunts, I cannot wait for you to see. You're going to love them. If you love wrestling figures, you're going to love them. James, shout out to you, said Meltzer's in the mud again. He said Dominic needs surgery and going to be out for 8 months. And then Dom said, I don't need surgery. Oh, did he? Oh, well, there we go. Wrestle Andy, shout out to you. Said, do you think it's possible for new wrestling fans that get into it now, that have a period of watching it without knowing the behind-the-scenes gossip the way we did in the 90s? Do you think... Hello, Wrestle with Andy. I hope you're well, buds. Do you think it's possible... Did you get tickets, by the way? I will get to your question. I'm reading it now. Do you think it's possible for new wrestling fans that get into it nowadays that have a period of watching it without knowing the behind-the-scenes gossip the way we did in the 90s? Yes, but you would have to stay off Twitter, social media. You'd have to not really talk to anyone about it. Like, I think that it would be very difficult if you was a kid now, because all kids are on social media, aren't they? And all kids interact online. So it's going to be very difficult for you to do that and not venture into... I feel like you would have to make an effort to not do it. I think it's possible, but I think you'd have to make an effort to not do it. Because the problem is, if you're a kid and you watch it and you think it's real, right? And you think that it's what you're watching is real, and you don't know about any of the behind-the-scene politics, you don't know about Meltzer and his star ratings, and you don't know about, like... you know, behind the scenes stuff, as you said, you know, a lot of the kind of shoot interviews and all that stuff. You know, even a lot of the wrestlers these days kind of give up. Like, you know, you could stumble across Undertaker's podcast on YouTube. You know, we've got to the point where even Undertaker, one of the most kayfabe characters, right? Never broke character whilst he was, you know, throughout his career, whilst he was dead man. And then as soon as he retires, he's just, out it comes, you know. He's doing his one-man dead show. He's got his podcast. I don't begrudge it him, because I think if no one was doing it, if no one else was talking, he wouldn't talk. But I think he's just rightfully looked at the landscape and gone, well, what's the point in me not talking? Because everyone's flipping talking. You know, Jim Cornette's talking, Bruce Pritchard's doing podcasts talking about the old shows. You know, there's loads, and there's loads. It's everywhere. All this, even WWE are putting out behind the scenes documentaries, right? Even they're putting out behind the scenes documentaries on their own network. So I kind of feel like it would be very difficult. I feel like you would really have to be a kid that watched the show and watched it like, say, you would watch, I don't know, Friends, Big Bang Theory, Do you know what I mean? It would have to just be another show. And then you go online, you chat with your friends and everything, and you don't look for that additional content. You don't go to WWE. You don't look for communities. You don't talk about it online. You don't seek it out. It's just a show you watch on a Monday and a Friday, and you enjoy it. But you enjoy it just like you do Big Bang Theory, just like you do Friends, just like you do, you know, American Idol or whatever it is you're watching, Scottish Idol. And, you know, you just watch it along with all of those. That way, I think you could do it. It's so weird to think that that's possible, but I think it is possible. I think it is possible. I think it's hard for us to imagine it because we're so involved. We're so far down the rabbit hole that for us, it's like, can't be done. It can't be done. How could you avoid it? It can't be done. They've got some of the biggest social media platforms in the world. How would you avoid it? It can't be done. But I think it could, because American Idol have got some of the, you know, biggest, most viewed videos. I don't watch them. And same with like a lot of the late night shows, you know, they've got some of the most viewed videos. I don't watch them either. In fact, Mr. Beast is one of the most viewed. In fact, is he not the most viewed YouTube? I don't watch him. I never get recommended his videos. I don't watch his videos. I'm not interested. I don't care about his content. I haven't got anything against him, right? But I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in him telling a friend they can have a car if they keep hold of it for 5 days, right? That doesn't interest me. I'm not bothered. I want to, you know, I've got other things that I want to watch, like wrestling or The Traitors, which is an amazing show. So, because I know that I can avoid other fandoms, like I don't know anything about Marvel. Nothing gets ruined for Marvel for me because there's loads of videos on Marvel. There's loads of accounts on Marvel. I mean, you could find anything about anything to do with Marvel. I don't watch it. I ain't got a clue about it. Don't interact with it. And it's one of them where if you don't interact with it, the algorithm doesn't shove it down your throat, does it? So I kind of feel like if you were someone that just watched wrestling along with other shows and just kept yourself to yourself, I reckon that you could. But probably unlikely. SmackDown is next. Yes, SmackDown is next. I'm watching it on Fox. It's the only way I watch it now. I won't watch SmackDown any other way until next week, when I will definitely watch it on TNT Sports. But, yeah, I'm watching it on Fox. Let's go! Who do you think is going to be the first pick, said Peculiar? Well, I'm thinking, like, maybe, could it be Seth? Imagine if it wasn't Roman. But Roman won't be there, will he? I was going to say, if it was, like, Seth first, that would be such a boost for Seth, and it would be such a slap in the face for Roman. I'd love to see Roman's reaction. Do you remember back in the day when they were all in the room waiting to find out who was going where? Could you imagine the moment? Like, Roman could even stand up before it's announced, the first pick. And then as soon as it's Seth, like, the camera goes to Seth and then cuts back to Roman, and Roman's like, can't believe it. That would have been amazing. That would have been fun. But we're not going to do that, are we? So I don't know, perhaps it will just be Roman. Again, if you are just joining us, I do have the graphic of everyone that's eligible. So we've got Seth, and we've got Braun, and we've got AJ, we've got Bianca, we've got Randy, Liv. You know, there's some big hitters here, but it's undeniable that Seth and Roman, to me, look like the two biggest. You can never count out Randy Orton. He is a legend. And, of course, Bianca Belair, if you want to look at the women. Liv has got a little something about her, but I don't think she's bigger than Bianca. Solo is in a very interesting place at the moment, but I don't think he'll be a first pick. LA Knight, again, you know, he's getting good reactions still, but I don't think he'll be a first pick. So, yeah, for me, those are the kind of names that I'm looking at. And then I think we just fill it out with, you know, the rest of them after. So I think tonight will be good. I think it'll give us a good starting point. But it's undeniable that the bigger draft pool is on Monday. Monday is the bigger draft pool. Right, here we go. then, now, forever, together. Days, good news. You no longer look like a ghost. Let's go. Did I look like a ghost? That's good. Improvements have been made. Oh, do you mean because of my tan? Do I have a tan? I don't know, actually. I can't say I've been trying to get one. It's just been me running in and out of a car. Yeah, maybe a little one. Hey? Maybe a little something going on. That ain't sunbathing. There is Cody. He's here to do a contract signing tonight. So Cody and AJ Styles. There's AJ. AJ, of course, winning the rights to face Cody at Backlash last week. Both men will put pen to paper. Do you see anyone from NXT being drafted? Oh, yeah, definitely. There's Bianca and Jade. Yeah, definitely. Elia. Maybe Lyra. I don't know about Roxanne. She's still got the belt, but you could do it. Right, we are in Cincinnati, Ohio. There's a podium in the entranceway. It says Draft 2024, which does make sense because that is what we are watching tonight. The Drafts, which coincidentally is on at the same time as the NFL Draft. Can you believe it? What a coincidence. It must be that the NFL have seen that WWE Draft's on and they have chosen to do their draft around the same time, which makes sense. Right, they're just showing all the champions and the fact that they are protected. Cody is on SmackDown along with Bayley, A-Town Down Under and Logan. There we're seeing some of the rooms. We got Teddy Long. We've got JBL. We've got obviously the GMs. Is that the Dudley Boys? Right, we're with Paul Heyman. There's a lot of rumors circulating. These aren't rumors. These are facts. What's this? Yeah. Roman. He's withdrawn. Who built SmackDown? Roman Reigns. So he's withdrawn. Why? Why would Roman hog the #1 spot? That's not what a real tribal chief would do. So, hang on. So, he's withdrawn. So, what does that mean? That he's a free agent? What does that mean? Hello, where are we? Oh, we're in NXT! Yeah, let's go, man. Jackie is there. Trick's there. Trick with the championship belt around his waist. Well, they've got a crowd. NXT. NXT. Javon in the front row. Lyra in the front row, so is Lexis King. So, this is... I love how we've gone to NXT. That's great. Who's next? Who's next? Excellent. Excellent. Roman is going to be a free agent, said Sis. Roman's all elite. Yep, Nicole. They draft college players and some high school players, says Paul. Let's go, said Scott. William said, are there any noticeable differences from watching here instead of the UK? That came up the other day, but only the adverts. Yeah, only the adverts. The ad breaks. I think they're in the same sort of a place. It's just we have an ad break before the show begins. Whereas in America, it seems like you guys end the previous show and just go straight into the next one. We don't do that. Okay, have we got the contract signing, have we? Oh, we need to keep an eye out for, like, Nightbirdie stuff as well, you know? Corey Graves is in the ring. Okay, so it is contract signing first. Paul Heyman said that's what a real tribal chief would do, which I thought was a very interesting line. Here's AJ then, making his way down with his Def Rebel special. Contract signing. Defeated LA Knight last week to become the #1 contender. AJG said, did you see the Dynamite numbers? I did, my friend. Yeah, we spoke about them. We touched on them. I can't be here too long. My phone is screwed up, said Suzanne. I'm going to be watching on YouTube. I'll see you later, Gators. Days nice to see you, Suzanne. Shout out to you. Hope you are well. Enjoy the show. Tony said, I don't know if it's your location, but you're finally watching, and I'm seeing what you're saying in time. I don't know. Well, it's on Fox, so I don't know if that's going to make any difference. Certainly in the UK, I'd imagine there is like a slight delay, because the picture's got to get over to the UK, hasn't it? So I'd imagine there's probably a slight, like, few seconds. But it should never be anything too far out, you know? Here's Cody. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. What's he wear? It'll be a lovely suit, won't it? Pocket watch. Is there a pocket watch? No pocket watch. No pocket watch, but he's got a lovely red suit. You think he's going to Raw? What's this about? Why does he always wear those awful shoes? I hate those shoes. They look like slippers. And he always wears such, like, awful socks. The kind of socks that you would get someone if you didn't know what to buy them for Christmas. Do you know what I mean? He's all about fashion. I can't believe that that is fashion. Socks. Socks, novelty socks and slippers. I mean, I'm sure them shoes are actually, like, really expensive. They're probably the finest Italian suede. I still don't like them. A nice, shiny shoe. That's what I want. A nice, shiny... Give me some Italian leather. Yeah? I hope he sees this. Because those are not the shoes of a champ. Those are not the socks of a champion. I can tell you this right now. I think I've got them socks and I ain't a champion. So, Cody's got into the ring. Roman is going to debut as Leaky again. Oh, back from his... I don't even know if that was NXT. That might have been his FCW days. Do you know, I went to Tampa the other day and I could have gone to FCW where it was filmed, where it was, which was NXT before NXT. But I think it's like a kids' play center now and I just don't feel good about going there. You know? That's the kind of excuse that you give to not get on a register. You know? I'm only here because it used to be FCW. Yeah, that's what they all say. That's what they all say. Right, AJ going over to the podium. I don't know if you realise what we have. 2 Georgia boys. Capper Owen, shout out to you, my friends. 2 Georgia boys. Let's go. Has the draft started? Not really. We know that Roman's not going to be in it because, you know, lols. He can't be bothered. What happened? I got my composure back. And I proved that I am phenomenal. I beat LA Knight to face Cody Rhodes at Backlash. Cody Rhodes is sat there. I respect you, Cody. We've been down the same roads. That's true. And we had to prove ourselves outside of WWE. Who gave him advice? Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes gave AJ Styles some advice. And there's a little smile on Cody's face. There's a Dusty chant. That's nice. Life of Dad, shout out to you. Yo, Days, this WWE draft is looking good, said Life of Daz. Yeah, man, it'll be good. Oh, AJ said he's a good man. Life of Daz, I hope you're well. Dusty told me how to carry myself and how to carry the weight of being a champion. The weight of this belt isn't just leather and gold. And at Backlash, we're going to see if you can carry it. Okay. It's all right. Not really any kill shots or anything in there. I respect your dad and all that kind of stuff. I thought there was going to be a bit of a swerve, but there just wasn't really. So 2 tables in the ring and the belt in the middle. I like it this way. Ah. The mics sound different as well, don't they? Feels more, I don't know, live. Dare I say a little less polished, actually. There's a bit of echo on the microphones. Last week I said you was the modern day excellence of execution. This is Cody to AJ. Much respect, mutual respect. God, get a room, guys. What's this? Everyone's friends. You're implying that I can't carry the weight of this championship. It's not about winning the title, it's about keeping it. That's what Cody was told. No matter how phenomenal you are, this is still a dream match for me. It's a must win. Yeah, this is going to be good, man. Thank you, Roman. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, but must be a free agent. So hang on, Cody's put his hand out. AJ is stepping round. You know, Cody, it was a beautiful thing to see you finish your story. But it's a shame. It's a shame your title reign will end at Backlash. They do shake hands. Okay. AJ walks off. Cody ain't going to attack him, so. Pretty standard, weren't it, really? Pretty standard stuff. There we go. The music plays. I do like that little foam block that the belt was wrapped around. I didn't realise that they'd put it on that, but that looks good. It's a lovely little display stand, that, innit? Well, there we go. Job done. Contract signed. That was boringly straightforward, said Try was. This is the new era. Contract signings are actually going to be contract signing as everyone just walks off. That's the new era. We're so used to contract signings where someone's going through. Oh, hang on. Triple H. Triple H is coming out. Is he going to start? Is he going to kick the draft off? Is he? What's this? What's this? You've overstayed your welcome. Get out of here, kid. He comes over, he shakes Cody's hand. I think he said, I thought I was in trouble or something. Triple H's like, come on over. You can come over here with me. We're going to do the drafts. So Cody's got that championship. Is standing next to Triple H. So round one, here we go. First round of the 2024 draft, and Cody is standing next to Triple H on one of the podiums. GMs. It's about protecting the roster they have as much as it is getting the roster they want. Edward said, I can show you a picture of what I've drawn on my wall, what I'm doing at college. Yeah, ping it over, bud. I thought you could help me. You could read the SmackDown picks, I'll read the Raw picks. Okay, so Cody's going to read the first SmackDown pick. Oh, they've gone with Bianca? Wow. Bianca Belair is the first pick for SmackDown. Battle Against Misinformation said Tony Khan is a goof. He called WWE evil. Shake my heads. Battle Against Misinformation, shout out to you. Here's Raw. Jay. Have they just forgotten about Seth Rollins? Or if I'm Seth Rollins, I'm like, I am on that list, aren't I? Jay Uso and Bianca Belair as the first. Look, Triple H giving it a go. I mean, they're not bad. They're not bad picks. Gotta be Seth now. Isn't it? Seth. Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes. So, there we go. Not a massive surprise that he's getting called up, but the second pick. The second pick. I tell you what. This is a new era, innit? So they're chanting Carmelo at the Performance Center. I don't even know if he's there. Even tricks like Carmelo Hayes is one hell of a pick, says Triple H. Is this Seth? Seth Rollins, right. If I'm Seth Rollins, I'm like... The fourth pick, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins on Raw, Bianca Belair, Carmelo Hayes. They are going to SmackDown. There we go. That concludes round one. Ah, there he is. That's why he wasn't at NXT. Oh, imagine he comes out, just punches Cody in the face, steals his belt, pulls Triple H's trousers down. That'd be the best. So Carmelo Hayes comes walking out. Oh, he's got a microphone. So Carmelo Hayes has come walking out. He looks over at Cody. Cody. Oh, whoop that trick is the chant. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. If you come for the king, you best not miss. When I shoot, I don't miss. Cody's like, okay. So Carmelo said he wants to shoot his shot against Cody. Cody grabs the microphone. You don't want to see me in action tonight, do you? Are we getting Cody versus Carmelo? I was only joking. I mean, I was only joking. It's only been here for like a hot cup of tea. I didn't forget my gear, says Cody. So the match is made. Cody and Carmelo. Is it a title match? I don't know if it's a title match. There's oh, Zelina looks different. She looks different, doesn't she? She's got white and red hair, like out here at the back, and then just like, I don't know what that's called. Is it a boob tube? Is it like a tube that you put your boobs in? One of them. She's got one of them. Right, well, we go to commercial break. Melo's getting buried day one, said Zoom Station. It's a little strange. What if he wins? What if he wins? Does he win? Do we end up getting Carmelo against AJ Styles at Backlash? That plinth is like the one from the side of the Hasbro. It is. You're right. You're right. It is. Weird draft pick, said Scottish Nightmare. It was a bit strange. I mean, what I would say is, let's have a look at the graphic, because the graphic shows us everyone that was eligible. I mean, I would say that Bianca's the biggest female there, right? Star power-wise. Liv, you could say, is, you know, up and coming, if you will. I ain't got an issue with Bianca being picked early. Carmelo, yeah, no surprise Carmelo coming up to... I'm probably surprised he was picked in the first 4. But Carmelo. Seth, I was obviously expecting him to be earlier. I mean, it's a bit strange, isn't it, that they were so desperate to try and get Bron Breakker's signature. And there were both sides were trying to convince him. And now it's come to the draft. They've picked Carmelo Hayes first. They've picked Carmelo Hayes over Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker, they could lose Bron. He's on this graphic to be eligible to be drafted, and he might end up going to Raw. So, I don't know. It's a bit strange that they spent so long desperately trying to woo Bron Breakker, only now for him to not be selected ahead of Carmelo. Solo Sikoa, I mean, I can kind of understand Solo Sikoa not being drafted high because his win-loss ratio is not brilliant, if we're going to be honest. But, I don't know, if you get Solo, you kind of get in the bloodline. He seems to be spearheading everything at the moment. Don't think it's Roman, but Roman's withdrawn anyway. So, Carmelo's a bit of a surprise. Well, he is a surprise, but not a surprise that he was drafted tonight. Bianca, fine. Seth, fine. Jay, fine. I'm surprised he was the first draft. And he goes to Raw as well. You know, I am wondering, are we going to see the Bloodline move to Raw? Because Jay has gone over there. So far, SmackDown have not got Roman because he's withdrawn. They haven't picked Solo. They haven't picked Tamatonga. They haven't got the Bloodline at the moment. Raw has got Jay. And so I'm thinking that we're going to be getting Bloodline going over to Raw. How and when do NXT select their picks? I don't think they do. NXT historically haven't picked because going to NXT is not seen as a third brand. It's seen as developmental. So if you go to NXT, you're going really because the main roster hasn't got anything for you at the moment. And also because they need to maybe refresh your character like they did with Baron Corbin. So they needed to refresh Baron Corbin's character. And so he went to NXT. I am surprised that Carrion and Authors of Pain went back because we only just started with them on the main roster. They did that feud for WrestleMania and that was it. So I am surprised that they've already found their way to NXT. But yeah, they don't get to pick. They just lose people and then have to try and replace them with new people. Battle Against Misinformation said, I feel a name change is in order. WWE Raw featuring World Championship Wrestling. Since all the world titles are over there, do a poll with yes or no. What you want to call? I'll do a poll because I can put one up. You want to change it to what? WWE Raw with World Championship... What was it? WWE Raw featuring World Championship Wrestling. Should Raw change its name? Boom. I've put that up. I've got a match now. Let's see if we can jump over to change this. This microphone is in the worst location. I don't have enough table space in front of me. I've literally got like this much room. My laptop's on it, and then I've just got this like microphone, but it's in the way of my touchpad. Right. Okay, so what have we got here then? We've got... is it Ray and Dragon Lee? Ray and Dragon versus... I think that's Berto and Angel. No, we're not going... We're going back to commercial break again. We've literally only just come back. How have we gone to a commercial break again? We literally came back as a match was underway. We must have come back for all of 2 minutes. Is that a mistake or is that why has that happened? How have we... Did that opening segment overrun? Did they miss a commercial break and now they're having to fit one in or something? Strange. Very strange. I don't want any LWO unless I get some lawnmowers and UV or La Parka, said David. Yeah, it's a bit dull, isn't it? LWO, it's all a bit dull. Life of Daz said Natalia still follows me and she responds to me, said Life of Daz. Oh, very good. The boat. Carlito needs to turn already. I'm getting tired of this whole LWO feud, says Homework. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm bored of it as well. I don't know what else they can do. I mean, I suppose they could just go off and feud with other people, but I don't know. I'm just not really feeling the lucha stuff, really. I feel like there's room on the roster for like a couple of luchadors, a couple of people, you know, like a Dragon Lee and obviously a Ray, whatever, and an Andrade. But I don't really need like Berto and Angel. I'm not saying get rid of them. I'm just saying I don't know what you do with them because we've got like Whacking Wild, we've got Del Toro, we've got Berto, we've got Angel, Carlito's around as well. Like we got Santos. Andrade, like there's just a fair few around at the moment, and we've just I don't think WWE now, they've just sort of grouped them all together. What do we do with them? We've done this Legado LWO feud, but what now? What do we do now? Answers on a postcard. Edward said, I've sent it. I need the community's help. I need Cody to see it. It's of his Nightmare logo. You need to check it out. Do you need Cody to see it? I feel like if I was you, wouldn't go down that road. I don't think you need Cody to see it. I think if you're doing great work, then it will show itself. There's that girl, isn't there, that did the painting of The Rock, and then she tagged him in it, and it was so good that like The Rock saw it, and then he was like, "I'm going to buy that from you," and then she turned out to be MJF's ex. So I would just say, like, what you need to do is just get good. Just make sure you get really good at what you do. She was doing it on like big canvases and everything. So I'd say if you're going to do art, like go big and really, you know, try and get to that high level. And then it'll, you know, do itself. You won't need to be asking people for retweets or anything. It'll get their attention itself. Here's Angel. Look, double underhooks. He's got Ray up. Ray. Oh, that looked a bit sloppy, didn't it? Ray got Angel against the ropes, but it looked like Angel sort of threw himself there. 619 by Ray. Dragon Lee has come in. He charges over around the houses, plants Angel. 1, 2, and they get it. Sloppy. I mean, that match was so interrupted by commercial breaks. Okay, well, that was a match that happened. We should do a poll and ask what people thought. Hello. Here's Santos and Elektra Lopez. Let's do match scores. I'm many things, but a liar I am not. Yeah, we know, mate. We knew literally when it happens. It's Carlito. Elektra's been working to track down the security footage. What you're about to see, you're going to find very interesting. Here is the security footage. It was Carlito. It was flipping Carlito. Carlito, just say it's AI. It's AI. That's AI footage. That's not real. Oh, well, you can't say it now. Oh, he's panicked. Look, he's attacking Dragon Lee. He attacks Dragon Lee. He attacks Ray. And now he runs into the crowd. Oh, he could have got away with that. If he'd have just said it was AI generated, he could have got away with it. Instead, he's gone and attacked Dragon Lee and then he's gone and attacked Ray. Unless he says that was AI as well. Well, there we go. Now we're seeing in the war rooms. They've got some names on the board. Bianca, Jay, Carmelo, Seth. They've already been drafted. Mitchell, shout out to you. Said I was hoping we would get an alternative angle of the CM Punk footage. I was hoping we'd get an alternative angle of Tony Khan taking the Tony Khan driver. That's what I was hoping for. But WWE are cowards. And they refuse to give me what I want. So, right, let's end that poll because, well, you know, there's more exciting things in the world. 9, 12, I gotta say, I think you lot have been really generous. It's gonna come out as good. 78%. I don't know how that's gonna rank it. Good 78 is still low in all fairness, but yeah, I mean, it just wasn't really a match, was it? It was adverts. It was adverts being interrupted by a little bit of action. Right, Days, I agree. I'm tired of the LWO. Not Triple H knowing what he wants with the undercard, said Made by Dawn. Yeah, I agree. I think the top end of the card he does a fantastic job with, but that lower end of the card, and unfortunately I do think that's where Legado and LWR is the lower end. I wouldn't even say the mid card. I think they're like the lower end of the cards. Not very compelling, to be honest. That stuff can feel rushed, and, you know, I mean, we've known for weeks and weeks and weeks that Carlito has attacked Dragon Lee. I mean, no one's going to be shocked by that. So it's nice that it's done and we can now move forwards. But I don't know, have we got confidence that we're actually moving forward anywhere that's worth going? I don't know. Hopefully. In Papa H, we still trust. But, I mean, he's killing it at the top of the cards. But, yeah. Weird show so far. Weird show. I mean, we had like a very straightforward contract signing. Then we had Bianca and Carmelo go to SmackDown. We've had Jay and Seth go to, or stay on Raw, really. Roman has withdrawn, and we've not had any kind of clarity, or I've not heard any clarity as to what that actually means. But, yeah, we should be getting the second round coming up soon. And then, of course, we've had confirmation that Cody's going to wrestle tonight. He's going to wrestle against Carmelo Hayes. And that should be a good match, in all fairness. And then we just had a bit of a strange match. So that's been the first 40 minutes. And I've not seen any like QR codes or anything like that for all of you Nightbird fans. Carlito should have said that was his twin brother, Buslito. Oh, very good. Carlito and Buslito. Very good. Imagine if their parents did name them after different forms of transport. Boat-lito, truck-lito, train-lito, ferry-lito, cruise-lito, plane-lito, helicopter-lito, skateboard-lito, roller skate-lito. But they didn't because they're cowards. Right. Days, are you thinking of coming to Canada on the next vacation that you take? Well, to be honest with you, my friend, I don't really think about vacations. This is, as we said, for toy hunts. If you can convince me that there's lots of great places to go toy hunting, then I'm interested. But Florida has always been the best. I would say Florida's the best. I'm not aware of anyone or anywhere that's got as many Walmarts, Targets, just places that you can go to. It's very impressive. I do miss Smith's, though. There's not really anywhere around here like Smith's. Here's Bron Breakker, who's probably wondering why he's not been drafted. Bron Breakker is in the ring. Who is it? Is that Cedric? This might be quick. This might be short. Cedric Alexander is going to be his victim tonight. Tries to go over. Cedric moves out the way. Couple of chops coming in. Bron Breakker has got Cedric against the rope looking for the spear. Hits it. Gets it. 1, 2. Goldberg. Goldberg. Bronberg. There we go. Bron Breakker picks up the victory. I didn't even get a chance to write the names down. Bron Breakker picks up the victory. Another squash win for Bron Breakker. Wade Barrett said if Bron Breakker wasn't the next pick for everyone in the draft, then I'm guessing he's just shot up even higher. Tiffy time? Oh, hello, what's this? Tiffy time. Progressive match flow. What have we got now? Bit of Tiffy time. Last Friday, this was Bayley taking on Naomi. Days, it is that good for Cody to see it. Drawing has always been a hidden talent of mine. I promise I'm not lying. Oh, no, I believe you. I believe you. If you've tagged him in it, I will retweet it. If I can find it. I mean, all I would say is do it for the sake of the art. Like, you don't need Cody to see it. That doesn't need to be a goal. But I've retweeted it so that others can find it as well. We've just got a replay of last week. Mark said, someone had to tell Carly O to attack again. My God, his return has been awful, said Mike. Has been awful. LK Racing said, I didn't see a QR code, but I have seen a glitch. Oh, Scorpio said there was a QR codes. QR code time. Right, well, looks like we've had it then. Maybe. Not a QR codes. It was a glitch. Is it a QR code? Is it not a QR code? Here's Tiffy. Tonight you go one-on-one with Naomi. Bailey's here. If you win. Tiffany Epiphany. I love the Tiffany Epiphany. Toodles. So, Tiffany against Naomi. Oh, Michelle McCall. Hello, mate. Michelle McCall is here. I thought that was Mega Morant. She looks so much like Mega Morant. Taker's wife. And Tori Wilson. Tori Wilson is... that's nice. That's not a name that we normally see. Defcon said, did the documentary have any codes or Easter eggs? Well, I mean, it would be good to look back on it in retrospect, wouldn't it? I'm not aware of the documentary having anything apart from what was at the end. So nothing, to my knowledge, has shown itself. But I don't know, with some fresh eyes, we could go back and have a little look, couldn't we? We could go back and have a little look. Do we know where we are with this QR codes? I mean, people saying there was a glitch. They just did this all still images from the TikTok. Right. So, Morgan, thank you. Here is what they did. Look, just some still images from the TikTok account, apparently. Wonder if this is all we'll get this week, or a tease of more to come. So yeah, for some of you might not have heard that there was a TikTok account that was used, I believe, with White Rabbit. That seems to have burst back into life and has put a little video up the other day. And so obviously we would have heavily featured that on Unseen. But to be honest, wasn't loads to it. This one, I think, to be honest, I think a lot of the footage we're seeing is stock footage, because that was true of White Rabbit as well. There was a lot of stock footage that was used. And so I'd imagine this is the same. But there will undoubtedly be stuff in there that's, that are, you know, worth paying attention to. It won't all be stock footage. But those are the bits that just flashed up, apparently. Pew, 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 pew. There we go. There we go. No QR code, but an Uncle Howdy sighting. But we still might get a QR code. Okay, right, we're back to the action. So let's end this poll. We've got the second round coming up now. Tori Wilson. Okay, let's jot down these scores. Wow, that actually got an even lower score than the last match. 77% for that. Okay, so here we go. Michelle McCall and Tori Wilson have made their way out. Okay, so SmackDown has selected Randy Orton. Okay, so Randy Orton. No one has switched yet, said Nita Nitro. That's true. Carmella Hayes has come up, but he was on SmackDown really before. Raw. Braun Breaker. That's a switch. Braun Breaker has gone to Raw. This probably isn't a great sign for the new Tribal Chief Solo Sikoa. If I'm Solo Sikoa, I'm like... That's Carmelo Hayes and... Look at them, they're over the moon. They are over the moon? They got Braun Breaker. Oh, it's a tough one, that, for SmackDown. That's a tough one for SmackDown. Okay, here we go. SmackDown selects Nia Jax. Nia Jax. Boos in the arena there. That's a weird pick. Don't you want Solo Sikoa? Or Tama Tonga? Solo. Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan then. Well, Nia's moved to SmackDown and Braun is moved to Raw. And Carmelo has technically been called up. But not much happening at the moment in the draft, is there really? So Bianca, Carmelo, Randy and Nia on SmackDown. Jay, Seth, Braun and Liv on Raw. Timothy, shout out to you, bud. Said just wanted to say hi. Timothy, I hope you're doing well. And Timothy continued saying, it's official. I have been drafted to SmackDown as your new Tribal Chief. Acknowledge me. There you go. Timothy, I've acknowledged you, my friends. I have acknowledged you. I hope you're well. I hope you're enjoying the show. Oh, look at the blood, man. Look at the blood on Kevin Owens. Tama Tonga hurling Kevin Owens. Do we know why they attacked Owen? Look at that. Kevin Owens trying to get over. Going after Tama Tonga, throwing in some big shots. Kevin Owens and Tama Tonga going at it. It's pretty fun. Look at him trying to stomp on Tama Tonga. Vicious. One of those rental cards belongs to Tama Tonga. The other belongs to Kevin Owens. Losing isn't the only thing that has consequences. So here's Heyman. He's standing around as a vehicle arrives. Heyman looks concerned, doesn't he? He looks pained. You can see Tama Tonga in the back. There you go, door open, out comes Solo. I'll get the door for you. The Bloodline got drafted, right? Not yet. Give me all the details. Roman withdrew. No one knows what they're getting if they draft the Bloodline. That's the problem. Here's Tama. Repeat that for me. Oh, Kevin Owens! Owens attacking Solo and going after Tama Tonga. Got a load of refs and officials that are coming in and separating these two. Kevin Owens desperately trying to get at Tama Tonga against Kevin Owens. Let's go. Are we going to get that at Backlash? Definitely here for that. Why are we underwater? What's this? Is this an advert? This better not be an advert. Oh, it was an advert. Right, so... Well, there we go. Liv versus Rhea, Nia, Bloodline, Orton versus Cody, says Draco. Bloodline is buy one, get two free, said Callum. Commercial break. We are at commercial break. We are at commercial break. Timothy said, unwell. My opinion, I think Solo going after one by one who fought against the Bloodline. I heard that Zilla Fatu could be joining the Bloodline. Here, him going after people that have gone up against Bloodline would make sense. I would like to know why he started with Kevin Owens, or what did he just think he'd attack Kevin and Kevin would take it, or I don't know, what's the plan? Why? I'd like to hear him say it, and I'd like to know what the plan is. But that's, you know, the story, innit? I mean, I'm sure we'll get those details. We're just going to have to wait for them. But that's a good theory that he's going after him because it's people that have crossed paths, or maybe it's people that helped Roman lose. I'm trying to think, was Kevin involved at the end? Well, he was out there at the end. He was out there. I don't think he was involved in the actual match, was he? But he certainly came out at the very end to celebrate, so I wonder if that's part of it. I'll have to wait and see. Timothy, shout out to you, buds. We are coming up to the end of the first hour of the show. Halfway point. And it's been a bit of a strange episode. Kevin disrespected the Bloodline at their old locker room, said Sis. What do you think of the second round of picks? I think that Nia Jax is a bit strange to be drafted that high. I think Liv Morgan, Randy Orton are fine. Bron Breakker, fine. I probably would have had Bron higher and then Carmelo lower, but I think they did it this way round so that Carmelo could confront Cody. To be honest, I think that's why they did it that way round. So fine. I just think Nia Jax was a bit strange to be drafted that high instead of Solo, instead of the Bloodline. I mean, what about the last few years and the ratings would make you think not getting the Bloodline is the right move? I don't know. And LA Knight is so over. But instead you go for Nia Jax. I don't know. It's one of those, isn't it? Because I think you'll always look at the big picture and be like, why haven't they gone for this person? Why haven't they gone for that person? Why aren't they doing this? Why aren't they doing that? Like, I think it's an easy thing to criticize. I would say there's no massive errors apart from, I don't really get why we've not drafted the Bloodline, why we've not drafted Solo and Tama Tonga and... But then, you know, I like the fact they gave us a little explanation on the show saying it's because people don't know what they're getting. You know, if you draft the Bloodline, what do you get? Wow, Bianca looks amazing. Bianca looks great. So Bianca makes her way out, looking stunning as ever. She was the first pick for SmackDown. That's a lot of pressure on her shoulders. I mean, the first pick, it really does mean something, and it should mean something as well. First overall pick. So Jade and Bianca will get a shot at the Kabuki Warriors. Backlash. Are we getting new champs? I really hope that Jade will get drafted to SmackDown. I've got a lot of history with Damage Control. Jade is the perfect person to help me go after Damage Control. Damage Control is falling apart piece by piece. Once me and Jade take those tag titles, the Kabuki Warriors won't even have a reason to show up here to SmackDown. That's going to bring out the Kabuki Warriors. Right. Here they come. Kyrie and Asuka. Making their way out. We're in the entranceway. Bianca's out there on her own. Is this going to bring out Jade? A lot of bickering at the moment. And I think that is going to bring out Jade. Here's Jade Cargill. Bianca and Jade then standing side by side. Oh, they're going to win, aren't they? Surely they're going to win. Hope it's a really great match. Although in the background, we've got Kevin Owens and Tama Tonga fighting away. So Tama Tonga and Kevin Owens have brawled from the back into the arena. Shots coming in by both guys at the moment. Oh, great kick to the midsection. That looked brilliant by Tama Tonga. Oh, takedown by Kevin Owens. Solo comes in. Look at him with his gloves on. Look at him with his little gloves. Just like OJ. Mitchell said, welcome to the US commercials. We're always about 10 or 15 seconds behind you in the UK. It sucks watching the streams at times because we're always behind. Oh, really? What, because of commercials, do you think? I would have thought the UK would be behind because the picture surely takes longer to get to us. You would think. So that's interesting, Mitchell. I hope you're well. Oh, Randy. Randy's coming down. So we got Solo and Tama beating up on Kevin. Now we've got the Viper making his way down to the ring. Look at the size of Randy. It's huge. Oh, man. Great clothesline. Tama Tonga goes down. Big shots there. Oh, went for the RKO. Couldn't get it. Couldn't get it. But he goes outside and he's trying to get at Solo, but he's being held back. Loud Randy chants. He's jacked, isn't he? Look at the size of Randy. He's huge. He is huge. Here is the thing, said the US have a short delay in case of beeping out curse words. Perhaps the UK doesn't care about that because of the time it airs, says here is the thing. So we've got Tama Tonga, we've got Solo in the entranceway. Kevin Owens wearing, is that an R-Truth shirt? What's up? Yeah. So he's there with Randy. Okay, third round. There we go, Bubba Ray. And Devon. So it's going to be the Dudley boys. The Dudleys are here and they are going to be hosting the next round of picks. Monday. The draft continues. Logan Paul on the show as well. Big time on the show. We're in Kansas City. Monday. Right, get the tables! Yeah, man. Love the Dudleys. If the Dudleys don't put anyone through a table tonight, it's going to be a disappointment, said Cleveland Brown. Tag teams are getting drafted next, said Ernest Scott. Bloodline to be drafted, said Smurfton. Surely. Tony said, is it me or is today's show a bit of a slow mover? Do you know, it's only when I actually get to a draft episode I remember how uneventful they can be. I mean, what I will say is there's a couple of talking points here. The fact that Bloodline have still not been drafted, that to me is a talking point. The fact that Nia has been drafted quite early is a talking point. Bron Breakker, Carmelo, you know, those two NXT-ish. I know that Bron had signed with SmackDown, but he had only signed, you know, a few weeks back, so... you know, those are talking points. But there's not that big bombshell, you know? Because Bloodline will get drafted, but we just haven't had that big Ilya Dragunov moment, you know? That would be big because, of course, we don't know if he's coming up, but we feel like he is. He might be Monday, though. I mean, I don't know. Because he's NXT, we don't know what NXT talent gets drafted on what day, because you can just pick NXT at any time. Nando said, why would they draft the Bloodline when all they do is disrupt the show? But they also bring ratings. I mean, off the back of the past few weeks, if you're a GM, you want, surely first and foremost, you want ratings. They are problematic, so, you know, it's not unfair to say you got to weigh that up, but SmackDown's been built on the Bloodline. You could make the argument, though, of, well, you're not getting Roman, you're not getting Jimmy, you're not getting Jay. You know, what are you getting? You're getting Solo and Tama Tonga. I still feel like they've been getting a lot of TV time, though. Still feel like that's first of all, you're getting two people. I think I'd take them over Nia Jax. I like it, though. It's an interesting way of looking at it. They do cause a lot of disruption, so you do have to weigh that in. Right, we're just going back. Look, there's the NXT Performance Center. I can see Wendy Chu. I haven't seen her in ages. Wendy Chu, 3 rows from the back. Trick is sat at the front next to Ava. She's sat next to Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Here we go then. Next round. Round number 3. The Dudley boys. We're going to Dudleyville. There we go. Bubba Ray and Devon coming out in sharp suits as well. Yeah. Don't think I'll ever get used to seeing those two in suits. Yeah, that is true. Okay, round 3. Wendy Chu has a victory over Tiffy in NXT. Bloodline drafted to NXT, said her. EC dub chants. EC dub. EC dub. We want tables is the chant. We want. There we go. Look, they put their glasses on. Well, this was fun. Smackdown. LA Knight. LA Knight. Okay. That's fine. I mean, it's so over. I mean, can't really argue at that. Named ESPN Breakthrough Wrestler of 2023. Defeated AJ Styles at WrestleMania. 2-time Slammy winner. And we are seeing reaction there. You can see Raw are gutted at that. They're gutted at that. Raw selects Ricochet. Ricochet? Ricochet? I mean, I like Ricochet, but are we... That's your 5th pick? Smackdown picks. The Bloodline. Heyman. Well, they go to SmackDown. Solo, Tama, and Paul Heyman. So they stay away from Jay? They stay away from Jay? That's a big talking point. Sheamus goes to Raw. Sheamus goes to Raw. Well, some surprises there. So much for my theory, said AF Chris. Yeah, same. I thought Bloodline to Raw because Jay and Roman could come back, Rock, you know. Right, Tiffy time. It's Tiffy time, everybody. It's Tiffy time. It's Tiffy time. Oh, yeah, she's got that awful theme, isn't she? She just came out and looked at Bubba Ray's watch and told him, I think it's Tiffy time. So, Tiffany versus Naomi is the match that we've got now. It's Tiffy time. I don't think she's not eligible today, is she? She's definitely someone that should have been drafted by now if she was. No, AJ Styles hasn't been drafted. AJ Styles? Who else are we surprised has not been drafted? AJ is a bit of a surprise. Andrade is a surprise. I mean, I suppose he's new back and so... But even so... Isla, Elba, Chad Gable, maybe? I don't know. I think most of the big hitters have gone. But AJ and Andrade definitely stand out. These are the only ones that are eligible today. All the rest are eligible on Monday. Right, Naomi's making her way down to the ring. What's the point in having a draft if there's no big changes, says Pine. Well, there should be by the time we're done with the whole thing. But I agree, a lot of the big pieces are just staying where they are. But once the whole thing's done on Monday as well, I think we'll see that there'll be some change. So Naomi has made her way into the ring. We've got, what, 44 minutes left? No QR codes or anything tonight. Just a bit of a flicker on the screen. Good crowds. They seem quite hot and they seem quite into it. I don't think they've been given much tonight, though. Naomi has got Tiffany against the rope. Tiffany goes underneath that bottom rope. It's nice seeing the legends come out. That's been good. That gave them something to get excited about. Seeing the Dudley Boys, seeing Triple H, seeing Tori and Michelle McCool. Face first into the edge of the ring goes Tiffany. And again. She gets grabbed, thrown into the ring. Naomi going up top. Tiffany in the middle of the ring. Tiffany's looked very good since being on the main roster. She moves out the way. Her performance at Elimination Chamber was exceptional. Against the ropes goes Tiffany. Nice hip attack. Hip attack there by Tiffany, and Naomi went down. Tiffany grabbing Naomi. It's got her on the outside. Oh, shoulder tackle to the midsection. She goes up and ooh, plants Tiffany. Tiffany flops to the outside. Naomi. Oh, lovely work. A scissor split takedown. Bailey's on commentary. And we go to commercial break. Simple, shout out to you. Said, I've got a few questions. Do you agree with Tony saying AEW is the Pepsi of pro wrestling? I think so, yeah. I think, obviously, you would expect him to then say that WWE was the Coca-Cola, right? And then, you know, the alternative, because they are the closest, aren't they? You know, I know they're a fair distance away, but they are closer than, say, TNA. They are closer than New Japan. Like, there's not really anyone else that you can say is closer to WWE, so Pepsi are not the market leaders. So I think him referring to AEW as Pepsi and WWE as Coca-Cola, that would have been a perfectly acceptable comparison, right? Might not have been perfect, but I could at least get with that. But for him to go, AEW is Pepsi, WWE is Harvey Weinstein. Even the people on the show were like, is that the say? Is that the saying? That's not the saying, is it? We don't say that, do we? Don't we say Pepsi and Coke? I'm sure we say one's Pepsi, the other's Coke. I don't think we say one's Pepsi, the other's Harvey Weinstein. It's like saying, what is it? Men are from Jupiter, is it? Women are from Venus. But it'd be like saying men are from Jupiter, women are from the cake shop down the road. I mean, it'd just be like completely wrong, completely random. And it was just like, what's he on about? So, but him referring to AEW as Pepsi, I could go with that, yeah. I could go with that bit. Angie, hello, shout out to you. Said, keep in mind things could change again on Monday. I remember a couple of times people have been picked the first night and then reselected on another night on the second night, said Angie and Joshua Mead. To be honest with you, I don't know that this works that way anymore. You are right, that has happened in the past, but I don't think it works that way this time. I think the people that you can pick are this group here, and then there's a different group for you to pick from on Monday. So I don't think on Monday you can say, actually, I want this person from the other day. Maybe you can, but I don't know. We have done that in the past, but it was a different setup. The draft's a bit strange because it's gone through a few iterations. There's been a few different ways that we've done the draft in the past. This is the current way that we're doing it. So I think once all is said and done, you will see that the rosters have had some change, of course. I mean, there's been a little change tonight, you know, with Sheamus on Raw with... because I think technically he was a SmackDown star before. Bron Breakker was a SmackDown star before. He's on Raw now. Nia Jax was on Raw. She's over on SmackDown. I mean, so far, we've had little change, tiny change, not much. But I think by the time it's all said and done, there'll be a bit. There'll be a bit. We've still not really had an NXT call-up. I mean, as we said, Bron Breakker was a SmackDown star. Carmelo, we knew he was coming up. I suppose technically he was, but we'd seen him in that United States #1 contender tournament. So he'd been on the main roster and, you know, he'd just lost to Trick a couple of times. So I can't really say that that's a massive shock. Waiting for a Lyra or an Elia or someone that we don't quite know that we're going to be getting. Kick there by Naomi. We are back to the action. They're just showing who is going where. Still available list as well. Sure, AJ has got to be in the next round. He's got to be in there. I can't believe that they went for Ricochet over AJ Styles on Raw. Oh, here's Nia Jax. Nia Jax has attacked Bayley. Nia has attacked Bayley. So right now we've got Naomi and Tiffany. They're fighting away in the ring. Nia Jax is all over Bayley. Big shot to the back there by Naomi. Naomi gets hurled into the ring posts. Yeah, I think this is going to be a no contest. I think Nia's interference has resulted in this not having a result. The WWE website will confirm that after, but this one feels like it's been thrown out. Bayley is down. Tiffany Stratton is watching on. She's continuing to attack Naomi. Naomi getting thrown into the ring. Bayley getting thrown into the ring as well. Nia and Tiffany have had a really good relationship. When they went over to Australia, they were sat with each other on the plane. Right now, we've got... she's going to go for the prettiest moonsault. Naomi is... she gets landed on. Do you know what? Fair play to Tiffany. She landed that quite quickly. Naomi looked like she was putting up a bit of resistance. But she still got landed on with the prettiest moonsault. Kick coming in there by Tiffany Stratton. You're nothing compared to me. I'm the future. Today, Burrow Hubbard. Don't know what that means. We've got Street Profits. We got B-Fab. Yeah, they don't get drafted till Monday. Well, we do know because they're not going to split Montez and Bianca, so that means Street Profits are going to be going to SmackDown. They always try to keep married couples together. They'll be on SmackDown. Street Profits are going up against A-Town Down Under. Here they are with their new belts. Hey Dawkins, this is a championship, something the Bengals don't know anything about. Here's Bobby. Here's Bobby. I wonder if you get the Profits. Do you get Bobby as well? That's an interesting question, isn't it? Teddy Long player. Teddy Long player. Teddy Long is going to be doing the SmackDown ones, and for Raw we got JBL. JBL is here as well. Right, commercial break. Holla, holla. Let's go Street Profits, said Lieben. Oh, what's this? An advert for WWE Shop? Yes. Yes, it is. WWE Shop. Alright, let's close that. A-Town down, don't deserve those beautiful belts, said NKSI. Mrs. Trini, shout out to you. Little Punk said, either way, have you seen her? Trini, I hope you will. Peculiar84 Gaming said, what do you think of the third round of picks? Yeah, LA Knight Bloodline. I think if I'm SmackDown, I'm quite happy with that. If I'm Raw, I've gone with Ricochet and Sheamus. I'm not as happy, to be honest. In fact, let's go round by round. So, round one, would you rather have Carmelo, Hayes, and Bianca, or Jay, Uso, and Seth? I'd rather have Jay and Seth. So, that means for me, Raw won round one. I like Bianca, and I like Carmelo, right? It's not a case of not liking them, but I really like the star power of Jay at the moment. Like, he's really over right now. And Seth Rollins, you know, multiple-time world champion. Carmelo has got potential. Seth is an actual. So, for me, I like that Raw pick, right? I do like Bianca, though. I would have liked Bianca, but I'm saying Raw takes the dub round one. Round two, would you rather have Randy Orton and Nia Jax or Bron Breakker and Liv Morgan? That's tough. That's tough, isn't it? I mean, Randy is a legend, but we know that his health has not been brilliant. Bron Breakker, obviously the future. I'm not a big Liv fan, but would I take her over Nia? Oh, that is tough, innit? Bron Breakker and Liv Morgan, or Randy Orton and Nia Jax? If I'm a GM, what am I taking? Could have Randy Orton. That's tempting. I do need to look to the future, though. So I would like Bron Breakker, but I think I would look to the future elsewhere. I think I go SmackDown. I think I say SmackDown when that. It's hard to not go with Randy Orton. And Nia gives you that size, you know. She is like that monster, which if booked correctly, which she just, you know, it's been better since she came back, but it's still not perfect. For me, Nia should be like on a winning streak, just destroying people. She's still getting beaten too easily, but I think I could do something with Nia. You could definitely do something with Liv. She's got a good fan base, but that was hard. That was hard. Bron Breakker and Liv, or Randy Orton and Nia Jax. That's really difficult. One is the future, the other is the now. Because Liv's still young. She's still got a lot of time ahead of her. Bron Breakker's young. So that's kind of like, do you go for the now or do you go for the future? Well, considering I've got another draft next year, I'll go for the now. Right? Then you've got Ricochet and Sheamus, or LA Knight and the Bloodline. I don't think there's much of a... I mean, would you want Tamatonga, Solo, and LA Knight and Paul Heyman, or would you want Ricochet and Sheamus? That's a dub for SmackDown. That's a dub for SmackDown. I think SmackDown's winning 2-1. Right. We've got the... oh, look at this. We got Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne being attacked. Final Testament. So the Final Testament are still causing trouble then on the main roster. I thought they'd gone to NXT. Right. Teddy Long and JBL. What is a Final Testament? Why are they beating up those two little guys? Here's JBL. And here's Teddy Long. Teddy Long doing his little dance. And we're about to get round number 4. Right, what, we got half an hour left, that's all. SmackDown has been the A show since Roman went there. It makes sense, said Aubrey. Right, SmackDown. AJ Styles, yes. Makes sense. Took way too long. AJ Styles. Okay, yep. No complaints with that. Good pick. Strong. Now, is Raw going to go Andrade? Chad, Gable, Otis. They've gone with Alpha Academy. Two more picks where nothing has changed. Lol. There needs to be an NXT Hall of Fame, said Mr. Quake. I think SmackDown have won this. Andrade and AJ were the two that I thought were the biggest that hadn't been selected. They've now been selected both by SmackDown. I think Raw's dropped the ball, man. I think they've dropped the ball. Because I gotta be honest, I mean, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, or Bianca Belair and Carmella Hayes. I feel like that is a win for Raw. And then, as we said, very close between Braun and Liv or Randy and Nia. Kiana James, our first big shock. Wow. Kiana James is coming up from NXT. Wow. I still don't. Wow, there we go. Look, she puts on a Raw hat. There's a Kiana chant. Do you know what? She was excellent. I saw her at a house show the other day. Last week. And she was so good. She was really animated. Really, like, making noise. Like, really involved. Wow. That's the shock we were hoping for. Kiana James, that's come out of nowhere. She's good in the ring. She's got a good, solid character as well. That kind of Stephanie McMahon. Or they sort of moved away from it a little. But a lot of people were referring to her as Stephanie McMahon when she was, like, first starting. There's Kiana. Lyra's crying, probably thinking it should have been me. It should have been me! I'm so proud of everything I've done in NXT. Oh, Sean has come over. And he shakes her hand and he says some words to Kiana. And there's a little hug there between Kiana and Sean. Oh, that's cool. That's nice, isn't it? Kiana better be used. Lyra on Monday. Sean telling her, if you screw up, The Rock's going to fire me, said David. They're just showing the reaction to Trick. There's Carmelo Hayes. So Carmelo Hayes is going to be in action against Cody Rhodes. That match coming up next. Wow. So that's the 4 rounds, isn't it? That's it. So, does that mean that the rest will be announced on social media? Who do we care about? I'm not really bothered where Isla and Alba go. Not really bothered about where Ashanti or Cedric go. Or Ivar. Zoe Stark, I'd like to know, I suppose. Good brothers. Michin, Shayna Baszler. There's not many, in all fairness. There's only a handful of people that are left. I mean, if you're Shayna Baszler, you're pretty gutted, aren't you? If you're Isla and Alba, you're probably not too surprised. You haven't really been getting used that much. But if you're Shayna Baszler, you know, and you'd been a women's champion down in NXT for quite a long time, and you've been on the main roster for a good few years now, you're probably a bit disappointed that we've just had how many picks? 16 picks? And they've gone with Kiana James over you. It's disappointing. This has been terrible. Draft 2, really good NXT call-ups. The rest of the picks have been mid, said Nathan. I feel like Monday's draft will be better, said AF Chris. I do as well, actually. I do. Everyone else is eligible. You know, there's a lot of names. The graphic, I don't actually have the graphic to hand, but it's a much bigger graphic. It's a lot more, it's like double the people. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot. James said Sarah Rowe, a.k.a. Valhalla, and Eric are expecting their second child. Many congratulations to them. Valhalla awaits a baby. Simple99 said, I've got a question. Tony Khan booking for Bucks against the Khans for the tag titles. And for full power, winner takes it all. Lol. Well, I don't think so, but I wouldn't put anything past them at the moment. I can't even read the text, you know. It's very small. There you go. Gunther to SmackDown is going to be the big one, said Wrestle with Andy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Put him on a collision course with Cody. Makes sense. It's been a boring SmackDown. Shame after the last few since Mania, says Adam. I'm Kyle, said the fans who paid tickets tonight are going to be disappointed if CM Punk does not show up. Tony Khan needs to build his own group to take on the Elite, and then that would be interesting, said Justin. What do you think they'll do next with Tiffy, Naomi, and Bayley? Well, I don't know if we're not heading for a fatal four-way. I feel like we're definitely getting a tag match. Nia and Tiffany against Naomi and Bayley is a definite. Lock that in. And then, I don't know, do you do a fatal four-way? Or do you do a triple threat with Nia, Tiffany, and Naomi? Or, I don't know. Might be one of them where Bayley's like, I'm a fighting champion, I'll take them all on. But, yeah, we've got those four kind of circling around each other, so we do need to figure it out. Sarah and Ruby being pregnant makes me wonder if Liv feels left out, says Jim. Nia and Jade have unfinished business, said TBH. Peculiar said, what do you think of the fourth round of picks? Do you know what? I was shocked at Kiana. And I genuinely don't think she knew as well. I think SmackDown still win, but I do really like the Kiana pick, you know? Yeah, Nick Aldis said he's feeling good about the SmackDown selections. Hello, a couple of matches to announce for Backlash. Bloodline. Kevin Owens, Randy Orton against the Bloodline. He just started laughing, didn't he, randomly there, Teddy? So, triple threat for the women's title. He's still got the magic of making the tag matches. He really does. Superstars switching brands all evening is a bit of a stretch. True Kofi delivered a custom WWE Championship to Drake May. Oh, look at that graphic, man. Look at all them that are eligible on Monday. Tiffany, Jay. Oh, was that the QR codes? Was that the QR codes? I don't know if it was a QR code, but it was certainly a glitch. Next Friday, Cody and AJ Styles will be face to face. It was a glitch, not a code, said Callum. Right. Do we know what the glitch was of? Braun Strowman was in the picture. Oh, was he on the graphic? That's cool. Also a little bit disappointing because that might imply that he's not a part of that Wyatt family then. First ever RKO show with Kevin Owens and Randy. That's going to be next Friday. We know they're going to be taking on the Bloodline at Backlash. Carmelo Hayes making his way down. So main event time. Cody Rhodes in action in our main event tonight, taking on Carmelo Hayes. I mean, it's a bit random, isn't it? Carmelo Hayes against Cody Rhodes. I mean, they've tried to give us something special. This is going to be a real showcase for Carmelo. Imagine if he loses in a squash. Right. Tony is trying to hack the system, but his neck brace keeps making him mess up. Look at that. Performance Center is rocking at the moment, man. Not much to celebrate for them tonight, though, is there? I mean, really, Carmelo, I think, knew that he was on his way. Kiana is the shock. Kiana is the shock. Right, let's get back over to the chat. This is one of the matches because it's on TV. It could ruin it, says Watson. Yeah, be brilliant if this was... Wow, hard to see these two crossing paths in it. I mean, on a premium live event anytime soon. I think if ever they're going to have a match, it's going to be on TV, and I can't see Carmelo getting up to challenging Cody for a long, long time. I'm just having a look at the glitch. I just want to know what the image was, because I still don't know what the image was. Cody making his way out there. People talking about the Braun Breaker glitch. Not talking about that last one at the moment. But there was a glitch just... there was a QR code and it has questions and leads to a picture. Oh, so it was a QR code in the glitch then. There was a QR code. It was a Pluto sign. Was there a QR code or was it just a glitch? Let's search QR. Another Uncle Howdy. The QR code leads to this. Are you happy? Yes or no? And then this picture apparently, which we know is to do with the cave. Are you happy? Yes or no? What's in the source code? Is there anything hidden in the black part? Like, you know, that space there, down here. Thing with this is you really have to look at it all, don't you? Danny said, I was at a b-ball game. I need to know who got drafted. I got you. So Smackdown have got Bianca Belair, Carmelo Hayes, Randy Orton, Nia Jax, LA Knight, Bloodline, not including Roman, AJ Styles, and Andrade. Very little change. Nia and Andrade coming over, Carmelo Hayes joining from NXT. Over on Raw, we've got Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, Liv Morgan, Ricochet, Sheamus, Alpha Academy, and the big one, Kiana James. Was not expecting Kiana James to be drafted. Thought they'd go Lyra, you know, or thought they'd go with a few others, but or Elia or whatever, but they've gone with Kiana. I like her a lot, so no complaints. Do you remember? Oh, it's got a few other questions, apparently. There's a video clip here, look. It says, are you happy? Have you ever lost what matters most? Have you ever been forgotten? Do you remember who you are? Will you take my hand? Why did you forget us? Why did you forget? You forgot. We will make you remember. They walked through, you refused. Oh, it's a bit spooky, that, isn't it? It's a bit of a spooky video, that one, you know. I like how all the yes and the no's disappear. Like, look, yes, no. Are you happy? Have you ever lost what matters most? So still all yes, no. Have you ever been forgotten? Yes, no. Do you remember who you are? Yes, no. Kind of speeds up and you lose the yes, no. Will you take my hand? Why did you forget us? Why did you forget? And then look, yes, no disappears. We will make you remember. No, 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 no. Oh, it's very good. It's very good. I'm sure there'll be more. But I like that. The QR code is a bunch of yes-no questions. I got a video at the end, but not sure if there are any other outcomes. There were 5 choices for the final question. They were all no. We will make you remember. They walked through. You refused. Do we know what the URL is for this as well? The hell is this? I don't even know what that is. What is that? Oh. Some other video on Twitter just started playing. I thought it was something to do with the thing. This music just started kicking off. I was like, what the hell? Okay. Shots coming in by Cody. Cody Rhodes. There are multiple outcomes. I've had a red circle, 2 different videos, and the picture Days has seen already. There are multiple outcomes. Oh, what if you actually press the yes and the no? You get multiple. Oh my god, what does this mean? I wasn't expecting that last draft pick. No, same. It isn't Wyatt 6. It's obviously the return of 3MB. That makes a lot of sense when you think about it. So you say there's a lot of different outcomes, is there, if you select them? IDX KDOM said the 5 choices give you different outcomes. The 5 choices, the 5 no's. What do you get with the different no's? Yeah, if you see anything, tag me. Carmella Hayes in control against Cody. They're watching the action down at NXT, cheering Carmelo on. Certainly, Kalani is. Oh, very good. Fade away DDT, and the crowd are really behind Cody. Cody picking up Carmelo. He's got Carmelo on his shoulders. Nice. Oh, small package. Cody goes against the ropes. Oh my God, beautiful. 1, 2, good drop kick there by Cody. Boom, that's a great kick. Lovely. Look, you can see Carmelo gritting his teeth, butting heads with Cody. He's got Carmelo on his shoulder, runs over, running power slam. 2, shoulder up there by Carmelo. So a shoulder up by Carmelo. Been a good little contest, this. We're going to need to get a poll ready. There's only 7 minutes left. If you choose no, then yes, 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 yes. Then no, no, yes, yes. Oh, hang on. Cody Cutter connects. 1, 2. Oh, kick out. Right there is just how good Carmelo Hayes is. He kicks out of the Cody Cutter. Look at that. And he gets it good as well. He gets it good. He is looking for the crossroads. Carmelo lands on his feet. Wade and Corey really putting this guy over. Carmelo climbing up. Perched. Cody moves out the way. Carmelo rolls over. Duck underneath there by Cody. Super kick by Cody. They both went for springboard crossbodies, but it looked a little off because they both missed. Carmelo has grabbed Cody. He's got Cody up. Crossroads is coming in. And oh, wow. He really connected. 1, 2, 3. Cody pins Carmelo. Crowds erupt. Man, he proper spiked him with that as well. Do you see how... Oh, man, he proper spiked him. IDXK Dom said an illusion cave. 2, same as the first, but the faces are scratched out. 3 is a red circle. 4, he sees you TikTok video. And 5 is a new video. So there's a new... How long's the new video? What? Does nothing happen if you press or answer the other ones? You turn it all away. So the illusion cave. Same, but with faces scratched. A red... I wonder if there's anything in the middle of the red circle. They do like to hide stuff in the black, don't they? In the darkness. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. So Cody holds up that championship belt in the crowds. Fun main event. That was an awesome match, said Dro. Fun, wasn't it? Short, not that long as well. Oh, AJ Styles in the ring. So I think AJ was maybe trying to get a little advantage over Cody. AJ's got a really good size to him. Got a really good size. AJ said I was this close. Well, there we go. Looks like that's how the show's going to end. AJ putting his hand out after trying to attack Cody. I got to say, I think that is not going to be a show that people are going to be raving about. You know, I think that it's a show that has... It's served its purpose. It ticked some boxes. It was an easy watch. I think if you missed it, outside of the Kiana James thing and fun main event in all fairness, I don't think you missed tons. I don't think you missed tons. Right, let's get the poll up, shall we, so that we can get our votes in for this show. Bang, bang, bang. Right, what did you score WWE Smackdown for the 26th? So, did you... This microphone is so in the way. I can't wait to get back home. Can't wait to get back home. I should want to stay here forever, but I do not feel that way. Trying to do it on this equipment is... It's funny, actually, because we used to stream on a laptop. And it's just so alien to me now. Okay. Right, once we've got this poll up, I will jump back to the chat to get your final thoughts. Oh, looks like, is that not playing ball? Come on, play ball. Play ball. Doesn't like it. Underwhelmed, said Suka. Cody is gullible, said Zoom Station. Did you see both the videos from the QR codes? No, but I've been watching SmackDown. The one, I believe, is from TikTok. The other one is new, so not seen it before. Ah, there it is. Oh my God. Glitching in the kitchen. Oh, has it just deleted that? Frustrating. Okay, it really does not like me streaming and putting this up at the same time. What do you score SmackDown? I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm just going to put 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That'll do. As long as we got some poll out so that we can at least get some sort of response. Right, that's up now. SmackDown is not spelt correctly. I've not been able to put the OK and the all time and all that stuff. Doesn't matter. We've got something up. And it was not playing ball. A tornado outbreak across America's heartland. Violent twisters? Is this the top story, is it? So straight after SmackDown is like Fox News or something, Fox Local. And tornado damage in Nebraska is the top story here in America. Oh, well, on this channel. Hope everyone is safe. Right. Jim said 8. It was a great episode. Erased Mind said, I've sent you a members chat. Thank you. Rob Fee liked a post that I've sent you on Twitter. Okay. Niall said, I've tagged you in my Twitter post with the QR code videos I've found. Thank you. Well, I'm not going to be sticking around too much longer. I'm going to go and have a little look at what people are sending over. Because I know everyone's on it, straight on it. But Metamorpho, is that Metamorpho? So the one video I was told is the same as the one that was on the thing. Metamorpho, he sees you. And the other one says Metamorpho complete. So those are the two videos. Oh, well, looks like I've got a bit of research to do with all the stuff people are tagging me in, which I really appreciate. I'm going to run off and have a look at those things now. Looking back at the botch, it looks like Cody was supposed to catch Mello with the Cody cutter, but Mello was just a bit too fast, said Little JB. Is Cody injured, said Cringe Binge. I don't know if he was injured or if he just had a bit of selling from it. I mean, it could just be a bit of selling. I don't know that it was an actual injury. There are also coordinates in the video from the QR code, said Jess. Ah, there are coordinates now. This thing really unravels itself, doesn't it? So the more that you look into these little bits, more shows. Okay. Well, I'll have a look into it now. So appreciate the support, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining us, as always. We will be back on Monday with Raw. Have a great evening wherever you are. And we will continue all the draft fun on Monday. And it should be even bigger and better because there's a lot more rounds and there's a lot more eligible people. And IDXKDOM said Easter eggs. They just wanted to belong is hidden on number 2. The red circle is titled Time Is in the URL. And if you catch it and drag it to its own tab. Huh? They just wanted to belong is hidden on number 2. They just wanted to belong. And what did we say on the other one? The red circle is titled Time Is in the URL if you catch it and drag it to its own tab. You have to move it to its own tab for that to show. Time Is. Well, IDXKDOM, shout out to you, my friend. I'll make sure you get mentioned in the video. I'm going to run off and do that now. So, yeah, appreciate the support as always, guys. We are back on Monday. Of course, we'll be doing NXT on Tuesday. I fly back on Wednesday, and then things get back to normal at the end of next week. So, thanks for watching. Appreciate the support. Bye for now.